Pretty, right? I wasn't anywhere near there today, actually. I shot that video like months ago. It was just like the most beautiful sunset I'd ever seen, so I also need an intro. I just got back from a 32-kilometer run, training for the Osin Sundown Marathon 2017. And while I was running, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, there's a whole bunch of things about marathon training that lots of people don't know about, and a whole bunch of things that I wish I knew about before I started training for a marathon the first time I ever did it. And so while I was running and thinking, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a video about it. So here we are. But first, I do need to say a quick disclaimer. I am not a professional athlete. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not anything qualified enough to actually give advice on my videos. So none of this is advice. Well, I guess it's kind of advice, but like, it's not advice. These are all just my personal experiences and things that I wish I knew about before I started marathon training. Number one, if you're gonna start marathon training, prepare to prioritize your time. If you're running all throughout the week, some days you'll only be running a short distance, some days you're running a really long distance, but either way, it's gonna take up a lot of time. It all adds up to be quite a lot at the end of the week, so prepare to prioritize your time and sacrifice a lot of free time. Luckily for me, my schedule is all over the place, and it makes it quite easy for me to schedule my runs on days when I don't have anything else to do. Other people might not have that flexibility. You might have to cut down on Orange is the New Black for a little bit, just to fit in that extra run. Number two, when you're training for a marathon, get ready for everyone to ask you, why? Why are you training for a marathon? Oh my god, that's such a long distance. Why would you want to do that? It's gonna happen. Everyone asks you. There is 1,000,001 reasons to train for a marathon. So just pick a reason and like stick to it, because everyone's gonna ask you. Number three, prepare to be really hungry most of the time. Actually, when I first started running, I was like, this is great, I'm gonna be so in shape, it's awesome. And then I started gaining weight. This was a couple of years ago. And I was in shock. I was like, how is it possible that I'm even gaining weight? Apparently it's quite a common issue for non-professional marathon runners like myself. I mean, it's obvious when you're running so much, you're burning a lot of calories, therefore your body is craving more and you just want to eat all of the food all the time. So it's usually quite easy to overdo it. So if you're kind of watching your weight or you're not trying to gain any weight, then just be really cautious about how much you're eating compared to how much you're running. Number four, so during my long run, I never realized, before I started doing really long runs, I never realized what exactly it was. Like I knew it was gonna be hard, but I didn't know how it would be hard, in what way. The thing that is the hardest, that hurts the most, is always your joint. Because I just finished my long run, my feet are the things that hurt the most. Like the actual, like the bones, like my bones hurt. The muscles don't really hurt that much at all. Muscles are tired obviously, but it's just the joint. So if you're ever running, I use Tiger Balm. You can buy this pretty much everywhere in Singapore and in a lot of Asian countries. It's basically just a muscle ointment, deep heat kind of thing. I put it into this tiny little container, and then I get this and I put it in my back pocket, and then if my joints start to hurt while I'm running, I'll just stop for a second, get out this, rub a little bit on, and then continue running, and it actually helps a lot. Number five, this one is a little bit gross, so I'll try and like speed through it. So while you're running for quite a long time, apparently it's got something to do with your intestines and everything being moved around so much. It kind of makes your digestion move a lot quicker, and it makes you poop. Like you really, sometimes you just have to poop and it becomes an emergency really quickly, so you just gotta run to the bathroom. There's actually a famous marathoner. Hold on, I'll get this information up. Marathoner stops to poop. Her name is Paula Radcliffe. In 2005 London Marathon, and she was running, and then the cramps in her stomach just got a bit too much, and she just ran to the side of the path and you know, relieved herself while everyone was around watching. I think that is solid dedication. I'm Oh man, what an achievement. And apparently she went off to win it, I think. I don't regret it because I won. What a legend. I think this is great. Paula Radcliffe, you are a top woman. So yeah, just be prepared. Be prepared. Number 6, when you're running anywhere, but especially in Singapore, it's hot. Oh my god, it was 30 degrees today and humidity is just through the roof. You're sweating so much, losing so much water. So carry some loose change with you in your back pocket or in your little pouch or whatever. Actually, you can get these, so these little like wrist thingies, and it's 2 layers in it, so just turn it inside out, put a little cut in there, and you can put like change, notes, whatever you want, flip it inside out, and then you can wear it like this. So if you don't have any pockets, this is a really handy trick. When I was doing my long run today, I was running for about 3.5 hours and I drank about 2 liters of water while I was running. When I was doing my marathon training in Japan, there's vending machines everywhere you could imagine. So it was really easy, you could just stop and do it. In Singapore it's a little bit harder because they don't have them everywhere, but convenience stores are always your friend, of course. Number 7, speaking of sweat, of course if you're losing sweat, you're also losing salt. So feel free to put a little bit extra salt on your food. I mean, that's what I do. I just like salt on my food. Number 8, of course while you're running, you're gonna be burning a lot of calories. So you might have seen in my video that I did last week about the headphones. I brought a lot of candy with me. That's pretty much just to keep your energy up while you're running. Also, I kind of see it as like a little like motivation, like, okay, in a few more kilometers I can have candy. So they say, I think you're supposed to have like 100 calories an hour or something. 100 calories an hour, 100 calories per 10 kilometers or something like that. So you can get the goo, the gel thing. Gels are the best, obviously. It's pretty much just liquid sugar. A lot of the gels have different things. They've got like amino acids and some of them have a bit of caffeine in it, stuff like that. But most of them are just like liquid sugar basically. So you can carry around a couple of them. They're really easy to slip into your pocket. Or I just like to carry like a handful of candy or buy some from a convenience store while I'm running. It makes you run more interesting as well if you've got something else to think about. I just like food. Number 9 is chafing. Yeah, chafing's real. That's a thing. I'd never really had the problem before, except, oh, this is, I don't know if I want to tell this story. I'll tell you anyway. So when you're running for a really long amount of time, any kind of thing that's just like rubbing just the tiniest bit, and then after a while it will start to like actually dig into your skin and gives you like a rash or like, you know, like a cut almost. So the first marathon I ever ran, I wore just regular brief underwear. I was like, this will be fun. These are comfy, whatever. At the end of the marathon, I was like, man, my groin is like really hurting me. Just the seams of the underwear. But it was fine, whatever. I got home from the marathon and of course, you know when you get like a cut or something and then it starts to dry, and then if you try to like pull the clothing off the cut, then it like takes all the skin off with it. Yeah, more or less that happened to me. And it was very, very painful. So now I know, always wear seamless underwear. Number 10, last one on the list is prepare to feel pretty much invincible and unstoppable. Before I ever started long distance running, I used to always be one of the people that was like, 2 hours, I could not run for 2 hours. And then as I started to run and keep pushing the distance and making it longer and longer and longer, it wasn't long until I realized like, wow, I can actually accomplish a lot more than I ever thought that I could. And it really changes how you think about a lot of things. It made me feel like I could accomplish anything that I really wanted to achieve. It pushed the boundaries of what you think you're physically capable of doing versus what you are actually physically capable of doing. So just prepare to feel unstoppable and to have more motivation and ambition than you ever thought that you ever could, because the boundaries get pushed back and the limit doesn't exist.
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist.
So that was it. That's all I've got to say. I'm sorry this video was just like a sit down in my room, yay, chat with Hannah time. yeah, I haven't done a lot of like exciting things outside of my room these days. I've just been working and waiting for Yoshi to come and visit. Very, very soon I'm going to the Philippines with Yoshi, my boyfriend. He's coming over, flying over from Japan, and we're gonna go explore the Philippines for 5 days, and then he's coming to Singapore for 2 weeks, and it's gonna be wonderful, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So I hope you enjoyed my little list. Once again, I'm not a professional. These are just my personal experiences. If you're training for a marathon and you wanted to add some more insight or things that I missed on the list, please comment it down below. If you're also training for a marathon and you found that it was useful, let me know as well. Thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and that is all. Thank you for watching. Bye. No pain, no gain.